What's up, guys? Welcome back to the next video in learning Laravel. My name is QDS Daniel. You guys are watching my channel Croywood. Alright, so in this video we're gonna show you how to create a table, how to create columns, how to add a column in our existing table without issuing the command like fresh, which we have done in a previous video. So we start the fresh. So now, for example, from last video we have say for example products. If you have products, we can add some data to our products. So we want to see, for example, that's number one, and we're gonna see here is a Android, for example, TV, and now we're gonna put a fully digitals, for example, fully digital TV, and we can see the price. For example, the price gonna be say 3,000, for example, and the special price gonna be 2,000. If you want to add, you by all means you can add any date here you like, so you can put a whatever date you like, or if you want the second, if you want to insert the second one here, you just put a second and you put a fridge, and the second product is going to be fridge, and we put a Samsung, for example, fridge, and the price of the fridge, for example, is going to be 2,000, and the special price going to be 1,800, for example. So we can add some sort of random here number, whatever number you want to put it. You can put any number here. When you press OK, it means now we have data in the products. So now we can add columns here. Our we can create brand new table. Our it's up to you guys. Want to create a column, you can create a column. So now we have two data here. You can add anything, say for example pictures, or you can put a, say for example, slug or anything else. You can put it here without issuing refresh. If you remember, back then we used the command of fresh. In this command destroyed everything. It starts from the refresh, which we lost data. So now we're going to see what's the solution for this. So for example, later on you're going to come and your boss tells you that, look, I'm very happy for you the way you done it here. I want one more. For example, your our website is lacking. For example, if the ID, description, price, I want for example product name, or I want to say for example slug is something for the search engine. I want for example user ID. I want you to add user ID so I know which user is that. We can put a user ID, we can put a slug, we can put whatever you want. So we're gonna come here and we can issue command php artisan. So we're gonna delete this one, php artisan make. We put a migration, and what we're gonna do is say add whatever columns you guys want. So what do you guys want a column? For example, we want a column for slug, or we want a column for example for description. We want a special price. We put a feature product, for example. So we want a column for feature product. We put a feature product, and then we want the table name. What table do you want to put it? So between all these tables you have the choice to put it. Is say for example in any of these tables. So for example we want to do in a products table, so you guys need to put a products table. So we're gonna come here, we put a product, add the feature product to product table. So for example I'm going to change this. I'm gonna put a slug. I'll put a slug to products table. It's just like we talk to someone, to our colleagues, in this case we talk to Laravel. So we say add slug to products table. That's it. That's all you guys need to do. And in the previous Laravel that was okay, but now the Laravel has introduced something. You can put specify the table as well. you can put it's up to you. If you want to put tables, say we can put our table is gonna be products. So now it's specifically strongly telling Laravel that look, put in this tables. But this one's you see most of the people they don't put it, but this is a very good habit if you guys want to put it here. And once we hit enter, you're going to see that our table has been created here. So now if you look in here, add slug to products table, that's what we have just created. So here schema table, you can create your whatever you want to create. Say for example, add slug, or we can put a table and what slug is going to be string, for example, and we can put a slug. You can create whatever, say for example, if you want 2 column, you can add a slug, or you can create a, for example, feature product. Say we can copy this one and we can put it again. We can put a table string feature product, for example, feature product. Alright, so when you come in here, if you wanna say what happens if you wanna delete it, if you look in here, schema drop if it exists, the whole category is gonna be dropped. But here, because we are adding the column, we just put a here a column, we put a table, we put a drop column. And what's a column? It's going to be slug. You guys need to put this just in case, because once you guys pushing this to your here to your database, then you guys are going to be at some point when you guys want to delete this, for example. And we're going to copy this one, drop column, and because we're going to drop this one, say for example, feature product. So now everything is ready. And because we have dropped these categories as well, so now we're gonna go and we issue our command to add these 2 column without affecting any of these, without issuing the fresh, because we have shown you in the previous video that when you issue PHP artisan migrate and then colon fresh, it starts fresh, everything starts fresh, and you lose all the user data. But now we are aiming for something that we retain all this user data, whatever we have 2, we have you might have 100, or we have say 1,000,000 user, without affecting any of this. We just add our column here beside it here somewhere. So if you look in here, the structure, we don't have any slug, or we don't have any feature products here. So we're gonna go here when we put a PHP artisan migrate, we put a migrate to migrate the table. If you look in here, we have rolled back the categories. Whatever table you guys roll back, it's gonna come back. So we're gonna put a categories table and categories table here, and we have a add slug to products table to products table. So we're gonna check if we have migration and our products table, for example. So now you look in here, we have name, description, we have a special price, and we have a slug and special product. If you look in here, we have at the end, we have added 2 more. So this is our is coming to our products table. So here, if you look in here, we have we have if you refresh, we have categories as well. So that's our categories. You can add say for example now categories if you want. Say for example now our categories have I'm going to check the structure, ID, category name, description, created as, say for example category description, our admin category, or for example if you want to use a user ID inside the category, because for the category you need a user ID, or we can put a product ID. For example, we can add a product ID. We're going to come here, it says PHP artisan, put a make, we put a migration. So now the first one is that we're letting the Laravel know that I'm intending to use the migration. Then we can issue the command. We say add, we say for example product ID, for example, to categories table, categories table, and we can put a table is equal to categories. So if the Laravel can't find these categories, it's gonna give you error. They say, look, this table doesn't exist. But in our case, because we already have a table categories, then we are confident that our migration is gonna go ahead, because as long as you guys don't have any typo, you guys are good to go. So now we have put a add products to product ID to categories table. That's exactly like that. So we can copy this, for example. We can do the drop column, or we can add a table string. We can put this drop column, first one. So now we have down, not the categories, because we are gonna close all, because we don't get confused. And here you guys need to put the first one, the down one. And what we gonna put it here, we put say for example product ID, because that's what we are intending to do, add product ID to categories. So we put a product ID. I'm doing the other way around. You guys can put it here. You guys can put a table, say a table, and we put a integer, because the product ID is integer. And what we're gonna put inside the product here, integer, we're gonna put a product ID, and we're gonna save all, because now we are gonna add product ID to which table? We're gonna add to the categories table. So here now we're gonna put a, because if you look in here in our categories, we don't have any product ID here. But if you guys want to add a product ID, you're going to come here and say PHP artisan. We put a migrate. So now migrate, product ID is adding to the table, to the categories table. So if you refresh, you're going to see here that we see the product ID here, and it's a type string, so it's a type int. So if you look in here, we have a product ID, and if you look in here, is product ID is a type int. 11 is default Laravel. So here, if you remember, we have in the previous video we have put a 191. That's the length. You guys can put it for variable characters. So if you're looking for user ID, users, and if you put a structure, and if you put in all of the variable characters 191, why the hell, why all of the products are 191? So if you, so now if you look in here, all the variable characters are 191. Why is 191? Because we put it in default. If you guys remember back, then we put it in the previous video, we have put it here, default string length 191. So any string now comes in our website, in our database, going to be 191, which is very safe. It can accommodate any length. So in this video so I'm going to recap. In this video we have learned so to add say columns. So we have added two columns here in this product table, and we have added one column here, product ID to categories, without losing any data. So that's the way. If you look in here, it's very simple. So it's just like we are talking to the Laravel. Says PHP artisan, can you make my migration? And PHP artisan gonna ask you what sort of migration. It says add product ID or student ID or teacher ID or XYZ, whatever you want to do to categories. And here we just putting the table, categories table, and here we just putting double dash and we put in table categories. We specifically telling Laravel, look, hey, target this categories table, don't go somewhere else, just in case if you have say product ID somewhere else in a user ID. Say for example, when we go on professional programming, you might have a product ID in your categories for say the primary key of this one is going to be the foreign key of this one. So this one is the foreign key, this is going to be the primary key. So if the ID inside the product is going to be the primary key, and then ID of the product ID is going to be the here the category is going to have. So if say for example, if the ID of the category ID is the primary key, the ID is here, then it's going to be the foreign key inside here, because you need to add ID as well, the category ID, to make a relation between these two tables. And the relation ones we're going to learn in the future videos, but for now you guys know how we add columns here without destroying our data. So now we have added 2 columns and without destroying any of this data, so our any of this data. So we have added again, so I'll again say we have added 2 columns without destroying any of this data. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe Crywood. If you guys have any question or comment, leave in comment box. Otherwise I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.